Hello and welcome to today's Riverbed webcast, Breakthrough Innovations in SaaS and Cloud Performance. My name is Subbu Iyer, Chief Marketing Officer here at Riverbed. Today, we are delighted to announce a new solution designed to help you deliver powerful experiences in the cloud and improve the performance of your employees and business. Let me quickly run through the agenda for today's event. I'll start by providing some market context on digital transformation and the prevalence of SaaS, which is a major catalyst for today's digital businesses. Ken Miller from Microsoft will then join me on stage to discuss some implications of managing performance for today's cloud-centric architectures. We'll then walk you through our newest solution, including a demo highlighting some of its capabilities. And then we'll have Chris Anderson from Willis Towers Watson take you through his company's cloud journey. First up, a little context on the state of digital transformation. It's no secret business has gone digital. Today, it's not a question of if companies will go digital, but rather how fast and to what extent. As you can see on the slide, over the next few years, companies will spend nearly $6 trillion on digital transformation initiatives as they race against the competition to secure a lasting competitive advantage. One technology that will continue to play an integral role in powering these digital strategies is software as a service applications. SaaS represents a seismic shift in how businesses can consume applications to enable employees and service customers with undeniable benefits in terms of reducing operating costs and scaling capacity as demands grow. In fact, SaaS is the largest growth segment in terms of enterprise cloud spending, as a majority of companies will run 80% or more of their workloads as SaaS by 2020. I run marketing here at Riverbed, and all our tech automation stack for marketing is delivered through SaaS. HR apps are delivered via SaaS. CRM apps are delivered via SaaS. Given this, ensuring SaaS apps perform really well will be critically important for improving workplace productivity and other business metrics. However, SaaS applications are largely outside of corporate IT's direct control, as the SaaS providers manage the hosting infrastructure. This loss of control can make it really challenging for IT to ensure these apps perform consistently. This can be particularly problematic for remote and distributed users that might sit farther away from the app itself. Moreover, security concerns often cause enterprises to backhaul SaaS traffic through data centers, negatively impacting user experiences. As a result, nearly 3/4 of companies report having major SaaS performance issues on a monthly basis, and 90% say these subpar performance levels have adverse impacts on top and bottom line business results. Riverbed is prepared to help you overcome these performance limitations. Today, we are excited to announce a brand new SaaS Accelerator offering that will deliver the same application performance improvements you've come to expect from Riverbed, now extended to leading SaaS applications, no matter where your users need access. When coupled with our end-user experience monitoring technology, the result is the first and only solution for ensuring complete SaaS application performance, from your users' devices, across the network, all the way into the SaaS vendor's cloud. This gives you the unrivaled ability to measure and assess how your SaaS applications are performing from your users' perspectives, and then take quick steps to dramatically improve their experiences. We'll be sharing a demo of this powerful combination in a short while, and you'll also hear from Chris Anderson at Willis Towers Watson, one of our customers who is already experiencing some compelling results from using this solution. But first, I'd like to invite Ken Miller of Microsoft to join me to share his thoughts on some broader cloud computing trends and how Microsoft and Riverbed are partnering to help customers master their digital transformation journeys. Ken?
Hey, great to see you.
Great to see you too. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
So, Ken, you've been at Microsoft for a long time. Tell me a little bit more about what your current role is and your organization at Microsoft.
Sure. Believe it or not, I've been at Microsoft now for about 17 years. Since 2010, I've been focused on the Azure platform. That's right around the time it went GA. In my current role, I run our intelligent cloud business across the northwest part of the US, where we focus on enterprise customers and help them with their adoption to public cloud.
Yeah. Now, Microsoft's been on this cloud journey for a long time, obviously invested a lot of money and spent a lot of time building out the cloud itself and the services around it. What have you learned specifically as Microsoft and then specifically from customers who have actually started the journey to the cloud?
You know, it's interesting. I'd say probably 3 or 4 years ago, there was still kind of this general concern about, is public cloud safe? Is it secure? Do I really want to start migrating applications to public cloud? Now we've seen kind of this hockey stick effect where it's no longer a matter of if customers will migrate, it's a matter of when, right? And you know, initially I think a lot of studies came out and said, oh, public cloud is great to cut cost, for example, right? But really it's not about cost, it's around speed, agility, innovation, taking advantage of compute resources, not refreshing hardware in your data center, all of those things that we hear about every day.
So it's great you mentioned that, Ken, because a lot of our customers are in a similar scenario. But one of the things that keeps coming up is this concept of some applications and data on-prem while they accelerate the move to the public cloud. So this concept of a hybrid cloud and this notion of hybrid cloud really comes up quite often. Is that consistent with what you hear from your customers?
It absolutely is. You know, we get into conversations literally on a daily basis with customers that are now looking at public cloud with a multi-cloud approach, right? And that multi-cloud approach could be public cloud, it could be private cloud, or it could be a combination of both. So to your point, hybrid is absolutely something we're hearing about, right? Customers want to keep some workloads on-prem because maybe they have compliance concerns, security concerns, et cetera, but they also want the ability to burst out to public cloud. So we're seeing huge momentum around our hybrid approach. We're actually one of the only providers in the space that offers a completely hybrid approach that allows customers to use the same OS on-prem and in public cloud.
One of the things that we are also hearing from customers is really, you know, a simplicity and consistent user experience across on-prem and public, right? They want to treat both as the same from a management perspective.
Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit more about really, we have a lot of joint customers, Riverbed and Microsoft. What are you hearing when you talk to customers in terms of how Riverbed and Microsoft are working together or how they're helping our mutual customers?
Yeah, I mean, the feedback that I hear is consistently great. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm here today, right? Because I wanted to share that with you. I mean, it's a testament to the partnership.
We've been partners for a long time, as you know, pretty rich, long-standing history of partnership, not just from a development perspective, but also really from a go-to-market perspective.
Riverbed's a gold partner and one of our top co-sell partners.
Absolutely. And the testament really is the thousands of mutually happy customers that Microsoft and Riverbed has.
Absolutely very happy customers. When I look at our customers that are migrating, right, and they want that seamless user experience, think about it this way. Just because an application moves from on-prem to public cloud, it doesn't mean that all problems are solved. There's still a whole concept of user experience. You have, or we have customers that have kind of sites or customers all over the world globally, right? A lot of the technology that Riverbed provides helps us create a seamless experience for our customers with kind of these global distribution.
Yeah. One of the things that we see customers doing is really, as they're moving to the cloud, they use our end user experience management solutions to really do a before and after scenario. Really, they map out what user experience is before migration to the cloud.
Sure.
And then after they've migrated the application and data to the cloud, they'll do another snapshot as an after. So that helps them actually show the ROI, right, in terms of the cloud migration itself. We see also other use cases in terms of, as applications move to the cloud, the need to monitor and manage those applications still resides, right? Again, leading up to user experience. So that's where we see a lot of really customers, joint customers, really working well together with both our solutions.
Yeah, and it's a great point. And one of the things that I'd say is that kind of from an ROI perspective, again, it's not just about the ability to migrate an application to the public cloud, but it's about actually getting something out of it, right? Additional value, incremental value.
Correct.
Is it going to change a business model? Is it going to create more monetization? Is it going to create a better user experience? I think that when I talk to customers and they talk about the Riverbed Microsoft partnership and they're able to look at that kind of before and after view and see the value, it's super compelling. That's the feedback that I consistently hear. The other thing that I'd say too is that, we've talked a lot today about kind of public cloud, but, don't forget that the partnership that we have is around all three of our clouds, right? We have our Azure cloud that is, primarily kind of when you think about migrating applications to public cloud, but you also do a lot on our Dynamics cloud and our O365 cloud.
Yeah.
There's a great user experience there as well.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, I think the product that we announced today, solution, is really about accelerating and managing the user experience for your SaaS applications.
Absolutely, exactly.
And all from a user perspective,
That's
right?
right.
Whether they're productivity applications that you talked about, or they could be cloud applications. Really, the solution dramatically helps improve the performance and consequently the user experience of the users.
That's exactly right.
What do you see? You know, the cloud is where it is right now, but if you were to fast forward like 3 to 5 years, in your viewpoint, where do you see this going?
Like a trend that I see, and it's not just kind of, my trend, but it's engaging with customers and partners on a very consistent basis. Think about where public cloud was 2 or 3 years ago, right? It was kind of like we were on the tip of the iceberg of that hockey stick that I mentioned earlier. And kind of the feedback that I'm hearing now and where I think this is going is all around data. Our enterprise customers have massive amounts of data, right? They don't know what to do with it yet. Right? They have to harness that data. They've got to figure out a way to consume it and then do something meaningful with it, whether it's real-time dashboards to make real-time decisions on sales data. It might be asset management. It might be predictive maintenance using machine learning and AI. But I think data is the next wave of innovation that we'll see around cloud.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because we like to position our solutions as something that captures a lot of telemetry from a lot of different endpoints, whether they're network devices, application data points, or even end-user devices. And one of the places of investment for us is really harnessing all that data, using machine learning and artificial intelligence to actually drive more insight from that data for our customers, right? Really getting to more of a proactive remediation rather than something which is reactive. So definitely an area of focus for us, even internally within our customers, within our products, as you mentioned, your customers are trying to do that on their own.
That's fantastic.
Thanks, Ken, for joining us, and thanks for your insights.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
For this next portion of our program, Dante Malagrino, Senior Vice President and General Manager of our Cloud Infrastructure Business Unit here at Riverbed, will walk us through our new SaaS Accelerator offering in more detail. A little later in the program, he'll be joined on stage by Roman Jordan from our Tech Evangelist team for a demo of our entire solution. Welcome, Dante.
Thank you, Subbu. It's a pleasure being here. Thanks a lot. So Subbu talked earlier about how SaaS applications are critical for business today, yet the performance of those apps can be problematic to manage. To start off, I'd like to touch a little more upon why this is. When you consider that companies deliver SaaS apps in different ways depending on a user's location or the company's security posture, among other factors, the user experience can be wildly inconsistent. This is especially true of companies with highly distributed workforces, where many branches are far away from where the SaaS instance is hosted. Here, latency is an issue, and that can dramatically impact the user experience and employees' ability to get the work done. Also, SaaS apps predominantly travel over public internet. Enabling direct internet breakout via SD-WAN is one measure that can improve performance, and that's particularly effective for branches that are closer to the app server. But in many cases, customers have security postures that say internet traffic must be backhauled through a data center. And while that may be more secure, this creates longer network paths and eats up bandwidth, which potentially impacts the usability of other apps as well. Then there are mobile workers who access SaaS apps under varying network conditions, likely using a VPN. These workers encounter bottlenecks at the last mile, that connection point leading into their home offices or wherever they're working from. Maybe it's a coffee shop or an airport or whatever, and there's congestion on the LAN because their SaaS app is competing with the bandwidth demand of other users. Whatever the scenario, SaaS performance often suffers, and the user experience varies significantly across the business. This gap between the criticality of SaaS performance and the struggles IT organizations face when trying to ensure it is why we're so excited to announce the new SaaS Accelerator offering, which is now available to customers, in conjunction with our end-user experience monitoring solution. This revolutionary combination enables companies to gain greater control of SaaS applications even though they don't own the hosting infrastructure, and that's one of the keys. Customers can accelerate critical SaaS applications to boost the productivity for any user wherever they are. And they can constantly measure and analyze current performance levels for any SaaS apps from the actual perspective of their users. This is by far the most complete and unified solution for managing SaaS performance. But instead of just talking about it, let's see it in action. Now I'd like to welcome Romain Jourdan, Director of Technical Evangelist at Riverbed, to give us a demonstration of the SaaS acceleration and end-user management capabilities that we have talked about. Romain,
sure.
Nice to have you. So what do you have for us?
So to start with, I would like to download a file on SharePoint Online, so on Office 365, and see what's the experience in normal conditions, right?
Something we do every day, right?
Every day,
okay.
every day. So I'm downloading the file. It takes a while because it's a big one.
Can we see it?
Not yet, not yet. I mean, we have to wait a bit more. Yeah,
sure?
I know. It's a bit embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're going to have a discussion
Yeah.
in the office, yeah?
We could have a beer anyway if you want.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Where were you downloading the file from? This is an Office 365
Office
file?
365, the SharePoint Online solutions. We were downloading a file from there, a PowerPoint presentation, which was around 100 meg.
All right, so not that big.
Not that big.
All right.
Yeah, okay, finally it's there.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
What did how long do you think it took?
Around 40 seconds. Around
Yeah.
40 seconds in this example.
What happens if we enable SaaS acceleration? How does it
Sure.
change?
So let me show
How do we
you.
do it?
Let me show you. So I'm on the console right now, and I'm going to enable SaaS Accelerator.
So this is the SD1 console, right?
That's correct.
Okay,
But we share the same for SaaS Accelerator.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you need to be a SD1 customer to use it. I'm going to deploy the environment for optimizing, accelerating Microsoft Office 365. All right? And my tenant is in the US, so I'm going to select United States. And I select the number of users that I want them to benefit from optimization.
All right.
So let's say 200. And then I click Submit, and boom.
So, Romain, how long is it going to take now to get the service up and running?
It would take a few minutes, up to 5 minutes,
Okay.
and it will be deployed for every users worldwide that we have. So while we wait, I propose that we talk about one of our existing customers, headquartered in the United States, but they have also offices all over the world, and they have decided to move some of their key applications to the cloud, and they have identified Office 365 as the first applications that they will adopt as a SaaS model. So here's the initial environment. The customers are accessing, the users are accessing Office 365 from their MPLS network, and all the traffic is backhauled through
the
their
data center. Yeah, okay.
the old model. They do have also other type of users, nomadic users, and all these users are using their VPN or MPLS to backhaul through the data center. So during the Office 365 deployment, IT used Riverbed end-user experience management to collect baseline performance metrics from actual users all over the world. Several weeks after the rollout, the IT team has gotten numerous complaints. So since IT has been collecting all the data from the initial rollout, the app admin can go in the Eternity dashboard, as I'm going to do here, and select the users from Central US and France only. And here you can see that the performance in the US was consistent as opposed to the French people, and we can see that there are very different performance results.
Much worse.
Yeah.
Almost double that in many cases.
Exactly. Yeah. We work with them to enable SaaS acceleration, right?
Okay.
So we are going to have a look at the new metrics. On the left side, you can see that we have the results for the users that are not benefiting from application acceleration here. Let's have a look at Central US. On average, we have 23 seconds for downloading the files.
Yeah.
For people that are not benefiting from one acceleration, right? And also a big variation in terms of performance. We can see the performance throughout 3 seconds at that time, and also a much more consistent experience.
Yeah.
So they also migrated their infrastructure to take advantage of higher speed internet access with SD1, with Riverbed SD1.
Cool.
So with more bandwidth available, a larger 100 meg file was used to make the download and all the measurement. So in this side-by-side analysis, it shows the sporadic response time for branch users in France without SaaS acceleration, as you can see on the left. So this can be particularly frustrating because the same file download from the same location can be as much as 45-second difference. Oh, wow. So once we have enabled SaaS acceleration, download times were consistently averaging in 12 seconds range, right?
Oh, that's quite impressive.
Yes, indeed,
Cool.
indeed.
All right.
So, do you remember earlier when we started, I wanted to show you a file. But
Yes.
It took forever.
Yeah, it took forever. I
Yes,
remember.
indeed.
About 40 seconds or something. Yeah, it was
So,
pretty long.
in the meantime, we enabled SaaS Acceleration.
Okay.
So now we are going to test it. And
So we should be able to
yeah.
get the same benefits, right? And it should
Yes.
take us a little bit less than 40 seconds, I hope.
Probably, yeah. So let's give it
it's
a try.
going to be faster. How long do you think is it going to take? So do you think this is going
It's
to be...
already there.
Really?
Yeah. Less than 4
Okay.
seconds to get the file.
Wow, so that was pretty cool. So we had a 10x improvement on the download of a single file,
Exactly.
even being in a pretty good position. Roman, this is quite impressive. Thank you very much. Great
Sure.
demonstration. To complement SaaS Accelerator, Riverbed End User Experience Monitoring enables you to analyze the experience of every enterprise app in your portfolio running on any device. It proactively detects performance issues by alerting you to deviations from normal application or device behavior. It also breaks down the sources of delay so you can quickly see if the biggest offender is the device, the network, or the application server. In the context of SaaS, this is really helpful when most of the delay is within the app backend because you can quickly escalate the issue to the vendor with the data to show where the issue is, leading to faster problem resolution. Now, these benefits aren't theoretical. Just look at some of the performance boosts we're already delivering for the most widely adopted SaaS apps today. As you can see, this solution accelerates Office 365 such that it runs 8 times faster, 10 times faster for Salesforce, and significant improvement for Box as well. Now, I would like to welcome Chris Anderson from Willis Towers Watson on stage with me to discuss his company's experience with cloud and SaaS performance management. Hey, Chris, great to have you. How are you doing?
Nice to see you again, Dante.
Yeah. So, Chris, first of all, let's talk a little bit about Willis Towers Watson and your role in the company. Tell me more about that.
Sure. Willis Towers Watson. It's a global advising, broking, and solutions company. We've got about 45,000 people spread out across 120 countries. My role as network architect for our company is to strategically align our investment and our plans around network and telecommunications.
So when we were chatting earlier, you were telling me about the workplace modernization project that's going on at Willis Towers Watson. Can you give me a better idea what it's all about?
Yeah, it's called Agile Workforce internally, but it's all around making our colleagues more productive, within the workspace. It's physically changing the workspace itself into more collaborative workspaces and stuff like that. Colleagues don't necessarily have assigned seating. It's more of a flexible workspace, and it's a push to where you can work remotely and consume the same services as if you're in the offices. That brings in different elements like BYOD elements, kind of our traditional type stuff, but it's also bringing in more cutting-edge stuff like IoT, desktop proximity sensors, so we can actually track colleagues as they come in and stuff, and how much of our floor space is actually being utilized on a day-to-day basis.
So your workforce has become a lot more mobile that's ever been before, right?
Yes, it is.
You have first-hand experience of what that means for an employee at the company, I guess.
Yeah, I'm consuming the services by and large remotely, so it's important.
And now, with all of this change in the way the workforce is organized and where people work, how does that tie to your cloud adoption plans? Because you were talking to me also about that.
Started on our cloud adoption journey about 3.5 years ago. It was more focused on IaaS, infrastructure as a service, and particular line of business apps getting over there. Now it's much more about a wholesale migration to IaaS, but also a platform as a service and SaaS as well. That coupled with our plans on Office 365, which is our primary productivity tool for enabling that agile workforce. We've got a lot of stuff going on with the cloud right now.
All right, Chris, you got quite a lot going on the cloud side, and you are the main network architect. How's the cloud, the delivery impacted your day job?
So obviously the consumption of SaaS and multi-hybrid cloud are changing dramatically what our network needs to do. So we've got a network strategy around 5 pillars. We need to relocate the core services and carrier-neutral facilities so that they're closer to the nexus point of where all of this is happening. SD-WAN and SD-LAN are obviously big components as we change how we deliver and deploy and operate networks. Cloud security and changing from a more monolithic, limited internet egress topology, that becomes important. Having common policy and being able to get into a direct cloud access, direct internet access type of model. And then fundamentally the 5th is embedding security as a portion of the fabric.
So it looks like that's keeping you busy. Now, let's go back for a second at the adoption of software as a service, Office 365, which are clearly strategic initiatives for you. How's that worked out? Tell me more about your SaaS delivery and how you guys have worked that.
So we've been using Riverbed's SaaS Accelerator now for quite some time, about 18 months or so. And we've been seeing a lot of very good use cases and data points coming out of that. Somewhere around 90% reduction in the amount of data for Exchange Online, 60% or so less bandwidth being consumed from SharePoint Online, and we've actually seen about a 33 times performance improvement for consuming.
33 times is quite a bit.
Yeah, SharePoint services, it's quite phenomenal.
Yeah, but how did you measure it?
So we already consume a lot of Riverbed's performance management solutions. So we've got a lot of telemetry into packet flow, servers, code, and that type of stuff. But what we were really missing was visibility into the end user compute devices themselves. We're missing that telemetry, and without it, it's hard to tell. Is it the end user compute device that's having a problem, or some transport infrastructure, or the vendor back end, especially when you're consuming off, cloud-based applications? Where you lack a lot of visibility. That's where we went with Riverbed's end user experience management solution. It's given us a lot of visibility into those end user compute devices.
Oh, great. So you get the before and after picture all the way from the perspective of the end user. And
exactly.
And you can close that loop.
We can close the loop, and we're trying to build a system that will be proactive and that we can identify groups of users and or services that are having some type of performance impact, and we're able to proactively and transparently correct the issue before the users even realize it.
Cool. Chris, looks like you're working on a lot of interesting things. I really thank you for coming with us. It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot. Okay, you have now heard it firsthand from Microsoft and one of your peers. As your business continues to consume more SaaS and cloud-based services, it's vital to have this level of insights and performance. The productivity of your employees and by extension, the satisfaction of your customers really depends on it. And now, I'd like to hand this back to Subbu. Thank you, Subbu.
Thank you, Dante. Hopefully this provides you with some great insights into a new SaaS Accelerator offering and how it forms an important piece of our overall SaaS performance solution. To sum up what we have covered today, I'd like to offer this. Technologies such as cloud, mobile, and AI continue to change our lives for the better. But let's remember that people are truly at the forefront of today's digital initiatives. For technology to reach its full potential, we need to measure and invest more in what matters most, the human experience. And this, of course, includes the experience of your workforce. Today, companies realize that creating an exceptional experience for their employees translates to amazing customer experiences and better outcomes for their business. With our new SaaS performance solution, we are enabling you to enhance that employee experience by giving employees unprecedented access to the applications they depend on to conduct business. And while most of our focus was on SaaS today, keep in mind that similar performance improvements can be realized for any type of application that's operationally critical for your business. They could be apps that are developed natively in the cloud, or they could be existing apps that are refactored or lifted and shifted to the cloud. And as you hopefully glean from my conversation with Ken, let's not forget about the data center. Hybrid cloud will remain important to your success. So that concludes today's webcast. I want to thank our speakers once again for joining me to highlight these announcements and share their experiences. And thanks to all of you for taking the time to join us as well. You can learn more about these latest enhancements by visiting the link you see here on the screen. You'll also want to sign up for our future webinars, where we'll take a deeper dive into some of the capabilities we've unveiled today. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.